The dry wind carried the dust like whispers of forgotten battles. Afghanistan's mountains stood tall and silent, watching over a land that had seen too much blood and too many good men lost to shadows. I wasn't supposed to be here anymore, not after the last mission. But a duty doesn't ask questions. It pulls you back when you least expect it. I'm Sergeant Michael Hayes, United States Marine Corps. 20 years of service, countless missions, and still the ghosts followed. They don't rest easy, and neither do I. I remember the first time I set foot in this unforgiving land. The heat was suffocating, the silence almost unnatural. You learn quickly that the enemy isn't just the men across the valley, it's the terrain, the mistrust, the silence before the storm. They called me the quiet one. Not because I lacked words, but because I spoke only when necessary. In war, silence can be louder than a gunshot. This mission was different. Intelligence had pinpointed a high-value target deep within the Hindu Kush Mountains. Our objective was to extract a local informant who held the key to unraveling a dangerous network threatening lives on both sides of the conflict. I was called back from what should have been my final tour. They needed someone who knew the terrain, the stakes, and the price of failure. As the sun dipped behind jagged peaks, I stood on the ridge, the weight of my pack a familiar burden. Every scar on my hands told a story, every crease on my face a chapter of sacrifice. The mission wasn't just about survival, it was about redemption. The night swallowed us whole as we descended into the valley. Each step was a calculated risk, every breath a silent prayer. In the shadows, the past and present collided, and I realized this battle wasn't just out there. It was inside me. The cold bit through my jacket as we moved deeper into the valley, the faint crunch of gravel beneath our boots the only sound in the vast stillness. The stars above were obscured by the jagged silhouettes of the mountains, casting long shadows that seemed to reach out and pull us into the unknown. I glanced at my team, 5 men who had trusted me with their lives before, and would again. Each carried their own burdens, but we shared a bond forged in fire and silence. We had rehearsed this mission countless times, yet nothing could prepare us for what lay ahead. Our target was a small compound, nestled among the rocks, rumored to be heavily guarded by insurgents. The informant was a local, someone who had risked everything to provide intel that could save hundreds of lives. Extracting him was non-negotiable. We approached the perimeter under the cloak of darkness, every sense heightened. The air was thick with tension, every rustle a potential threat. As we neared the entrance, the faint glow of a lantern flickered, a beacon in the oppressive night. Suddenly, a crackling noise shattered the silence, a single shot, quick and precise. The firefight erupted without warning. Orders were barked, rifles roared, and the world narrowed to a chaotic dance of survival. In the midst of the chaos, I focused on the informant's location, pushing through smoke and debris. Memories flashed. Old comrades lost, missions gone wrong, the weight of every decision crushing me. But I couldn't falter. Not now. We reached the informant, a man worn but resolute. His eyes held a mix of fear and determination that mirrored my own. Together we fought our way back through the enemy lines, every step a battle. By dawn, the mountains were silent once more. We had survived, but the scars, visible and invisible, ran deep. This mission wasn't just another chapter in a long career. It was the last stand of a soldier seeking peace in a land that knew only war. The dawn was cold and unforgiving, the pale light revealing the harsh reality of the battlefield we'd barely escaped. My body ached from every step, every breath a reminder that survival was never guaranteed. Around me, the quiet was heavier than any gunfire. Back at base, the debrief was clinical. Details, timelines, outcomes. But inside, the storm raged. Memories of faces lost, the weight of decisions made in split seconds, the questions that no report could answer. I was a soldier who had survived too many battles, yet found myself fighting wars that no one saw, the battles within. The silence after combat was deafening, filled with doubts, regrets, and the ever-present question, was it all worth it? Months later, I sat alone in a small apartment, the noise of the world muffled behind closed doors. The medals and honors collected over 2 decades felt distant, almost meaningless. I wanted to lay down my burden, to find peace beyond the uniform. But peace was elusive. A knock on the door pulled me from my thoughts. A letter sealed and official. Another mission? No, something different. A chance to share my story, to give voice to the silent struggles of veterans like me. I realized then that my duty wasn't just on the battlefield. It was here, in the quiet moments, helping others find their way through the shadows. This is my story, a testament to the courage it takes to face not only the enemy, but yourself. The days that followed were a different kind of battle, not fought with weapons or strategy, but with words and memories. I began speaking at veteran gatherings, sharing pieces of the war no one saw, the silent aftermath, the weight of survival. At first it was hard, opening wounds that time had only partially healed, but with every story told, a piece of the burden lifted. Others listened, nodded, their eyes reflecting the same haunted past. I found purpose in this new mission, helping those lost in the silence, guiding them back to the light. One evening, after a talk at a local community center, a young soldier approached me. His hands trembled as he held his medal, a symbol of courage, yet his eyes told a different story. He whispered, "How do you live with it?" The memories. The guilt? I looked at him, saw myself years ago, and replied, "You don't live with it. You carry it, but you don't have to carry it alone." That moment defined everything. The war had changed me, but it hadn't broken me. My last stand wasn't in the mountains of Afghanistan. It was here, in the hearts and minds of those still fighting their own battles. This is the legacy I choose to leave, a story of resilience, redemption, and the unspoken strength of the silent warriors among us. Years passed, but the echoes of that last mission never faded. They became part of who I was, less a burden, more a reminder of sacrifice, of brotherhood, and of the quiet strength that carries us through the darkest nights. I still walk among shadows, but I no longer fear them. They are the stories of those who stood beside me, the memories of battles fought and won, and the hope for a future where silence gives way to understanding. To every soldier who has ever felt alone in the fight, know this: your story matters. Your courage, seen or unseen, shapes the world in ways words cannot capture. And for those watching, remember, the greatest battles are often the ones fought within. This is Sergeant Michael Hayes' tale, a soldier, a survivor, a silent warrior. Thank you for walking this path with me. War leaves marks, some visible, many unseen. The battlefield is not just where bullets fly, it's where silence screams the loudest. I am Sergeant Michael Hayes. I fought battles you'll never see, carried burdens you'll never know. But in that silence, I found strength. In the shadows, I found purpose. This is more than a story of war, it's a testament to resilience, to redemption, and to the courage it takes to keep moving forward when the world falls silent. To all the silent warriors out there, your fight is not forgotten, your story is not unheard. Thank you for standing tall in the face of the invisible battle. This is our legacy.